I feel is the most, incredible thing that's happening in the device platforms that we have right now with Nu Skin, simply because it's the easiest way to tell the story, right? We've got a social media sensation happening with viral products on the toothpaste, and if you're participating in that, yes, it's amazing, yet people don't have a connection of toothpaste and freedom. Like, they have no idea how toothpaste is going to get them freedom, right? They do as they go, and they get exposed to everything else. But what we have in our hands with the AgeLoc Me is the ability to tell a story of freedom that takes that concept that is a concept for many people and makes it tangible and real so that they can see it. And you may have heard, if you've been around long enough, that if you start with a product and you start talking about the product to sell a product, and someone doesn't want your product, now you have no room to have a conversation about the business because they've already said no to the product. Yet when you can start the conversation about the business and they say no to the business and they don't really want what the business has to offer, they have had an opportunity to hear about and learn about the product, and now they can say yes to becoming a customer of that product. And so in my experience of being with Nu Skin for 9 years, the AgeLoc Me platform, the technology that goes with it, is the most brilliant way to be able to have that conversation. And so when I'm sitting in front of people and I can say to them, hey, I want to talk to you about something that I'm working on, I'm really excited about changing our family forever for the future, and it's going to impact people's lives all around the world. I don't want you to ever come back to me and say, why didn't you tell me? And so I want to keep you on the loop on what I'm doing. And then we sit down and we talk about that concept of freedom and the 3 different ways that people benefit from what we're working on, right? That customer that may eventually refer, somebody that's going to build an asset. And AgeLoc Me is an incredible way to have this conversation of freedom become real for someone. So when we talk about the product to that person, even though what you've set up as a business conversation, if you're going that route, is that it's pretty simple to see. Nobody in this room has the same skin, not one single person, right? And yet, for forever, how we as consumers have purchased skincare is based on our skin type and then what we're looking to do. Are you working on anti-aging? Are you working on acne? Do you just want a skincare system that's going to take kind of good care of your skin? And then you get recommended whatever that system is. And it's a system for the masses. It's not a system exactly for you. And so this idea of being able to have something exactly for you, that's what everyone wants. I want something that's exactly for me, right? I want something that fits me, that's going to help and address all my needs. That's how, if you're purchasing skincare that comes in bottles, tubes, and jars, that is created for large demographics of people, not for you specifically, you've got a different experience, right? You've got things that need different levels of preservative systems because they're going to be exposed to the air and to human touch and all these different things. You've got multi-step processes that are going to sit out all over your bathroom counter that are going to be challenging to travel with, right? And so as we're talking about the technology, remember, this is a technology that describes freedom. And so how do we do that? There's a lot of key things about the AgeLoc Me that make it amazing. The ease of use, all the different custom formulations that are available, the ability to have it be hygienic, to go through this 3D printing process that's going to maximize the absorption, and at a price point that nobody can compete with in the market. Corporate did an amazing job on a video that describes this. If you haven't seen it and you have someone that's considering the technology, send them the video and it'll give you an explanation that hands down, from a price point, you cannot compete in anywhere, in any category, in any brand that will compete with this in results and pricing. And so now we come back to this conversation about freedom, right? And so looking at this as a way to describe that idea is what my company has offered is go put these in the market for people that want to have that experience. And yes, they're going to pay you to do that. And then they're going to pay you month after month after month after month on the consumable cartridges that people are going to reorder direct from the company. So while you and many people you know may go out every day and trade a certain amount of time, whether you trade it by the hour, whether you trade it for a chunk of hours called a salary, whether you trade it by the job like my house cleaner does, doesn't matter how long it takes her to clean our house, she gets paid the same amount, or whether you get paid a commission. You are trading time for money. As soon as you stop making that trade, you stop making money, which means you can't stop. Nu Skin's given us a different option. This technology explains it, because you go do the work one time, this technology is now in the home of a consumer in the market, and Nu Skin's paying you over and over and over and over again for the work that you've done one time. So could you personally, I just say to people, could you personally go out and find 500 people over the next 3 years that want a customized skincare experience? That's 3 people a week. If you have 500 AgeLoc Me ADRs that you've personally put in the market, that's $10,000 a month. What are you going to do in the next 3 years that you can go out and do one time and have that kind of recurring income come in? And it's not that they'd go place 500, it's that they can now understand the power of this technology and how they could actually create freedom for themselves. And so if the person that you're sitting in front of is maybe not the person that is looking to do that or ready to do that, now that they've said no, whenever somebody says no to something, they're always looking for something to say yes to, right? I mean, most people want to be able to say yes. So if you can get a no on the first one, you're great, because now what you've got a yes on is somebody that's going to buy that technology and take it home and use it and love it. My experience of using it is, I used to have horrible skin. I mean, I had grade 4 acne at the age of 26. I had never had acne in my life, and literally my face blew up. I had like 25 to 30 different scars, cysts, active acne on each side of my face, and I remember what it felt like to not have good skin and to go out and grow. Like, my hair always covered my face, which you don't want when you have acne, because the oils from your hair exacerbate it and make it worse. And that's initially why I started my skincare career, because there wasn't a prescription they could find that could change it without a drug that caused birth defects for the next 9 years, and I wasn't willing to take that. And so my search way back when I got into the skincare industry was to be able to, help get my own face fixed, which I did at that time, and that was well before I met Nu Skin. And so my focus when I had the day spa in that career was working with things that were going to be clinical in results, and my focus was anti-aging and acne. And I have learned about and used the majority of skincare systems that exist in the market, and AgeLoc Me and the ease of use, the results of using the product, even with many great Nu Skin products that I still love, AgeLoc Me is my favorite. It's my favorite from a consumer experience. It's my favorite in results. And what's great about this technology is, just like the technology platform that we had with the spa that I got introduced to, you can do half-face demonstrations with an AgeLoc Me that in the moment are going to give that emotional connection, that experience to someone you're sitting right in front of, that can know and feel, because that's the biggest thing. If you're looking at consumers, they don't purchase based on logic. They purchase based on emotion. And emotion happens through experience, not through information. So being able to demonstrate an AgeLoc Me when you're sitting in front of someone and give them that experience, hands down, some people are going to have crazy amazing results when you do that. Some people are going to have more subtle results, and yet everyone loves the experience that they have. So all of those points that are really wrapped into this conversation around the piece of technology that we are so fortunate to have, that no one else has in the market, that is protected by patents, that's got all of the awards because of the different components of what that technology actually does and how revolutionary it is, to all of the exposure that it's getting around the world, because we are creating and really disrupting the personal care industry, which, oh, by the way, is $400 billion a year. And when we think about Nu Skin being a $2.5 billion company annually, we have so much opportunity to be able to have this game changer in the market that, yes, is going to give a consumer something they absolutely love in that personal results space for personal care. Yet at the end of the day, we're not here, if you're sitting in this room, you're here more than likely because you want to change your life. And we have the greatest story ever to be able to tell about how people can change their lives. and put those pieces together. And I know that this is not the end of the technology platforms that Nu Skin will have. They're always investing and reinvesting to create that next thing. I think it's really important to understand that you've got to get in your DNA why we're really here, right? It's not to go out and sell a bunch of product. It's to find people like us that want to do what we do and be able to tell a really simple, compelling story in the market where they can put those pieces together and connect the dots and go, oh yeah, I see how this can work. I see how this can happen, right? And then having that recurring consumption every month, because I'm not willing to let mine go dry. I mean, this would be a very bad day in our house if we ran out of product, right? And this is true for consumers as well. And so take it out into the market, have some fun with it, play with it, and you'll impact a lot of lives around the world as you do that. And what I would say is, everything starts with you being ready. And sometimes you gotta go before you're ready. And you gotta go, and you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. And if I look back on my first year of doing just that, you know, I was ready for something different in my life, but I wasn't really ready fully to embrace the idea of being a network marketing professional, right? And that came as a result of taking the action, of going out and giving demonstrations and sharing that story in the market. And the more that you're willing to go out and do that and have fun with it, you and your mind are going to develop to the professional that you want to be and the lives of people around the world that you want to touch. And today, what has happened through that evolution and what my wish is for each one of you sitting here is that you get so strong in your DNA that you can sit in front of anyone. You could sit in front of someone making $5 million a year and know that you have something that hands down cannot even compare to what they're doing, because they may be making great money, but they're never going to have the lifestyle that you can have as a result of being a Nu Skin distributor. So thank you to Nu Skin for the investment that they make in each of us, and absolutely in the technology platforms.
Wow. Hey.